Hello everyone, how's it going? Yes, my name is Powella Samson Nibosa. I'm more than happy to share one or two things about autism and how we could support those on the spectrum. Um, so I'm gonna just walk through a few things that I have jotted here. So I'm going to talk about autism and autism in Africa, the barriers to inclusion in autistic people in Africa and African community, and strategies to better support those diagnosed with autism, some success stories, and just like call to action. Yes, and we can now, just a few bullet points to go through here. You guys are doing a great job, Iwalewa Autism Foundation. Last time I kind of chatted with someone from your team, and but yeah, just very unfortunate that I'm not able to join you guys live. I would have loved to, but just not, the time is not allowing that right now. So yeah, so autism is a neurodevelopmental disorder or condition affecting communication and social interaction amongst teenagers, adults, and children, especially children. So again, let me say that again. Autism is a neurodevelopmental disorder that's affecting children, teenagers, and adults. So there's no like just kids. No, there are a lot of adults that have that are with the condition. So yeah, autism is a very unique condition that without diagnosis you can't really tell if anybody is suffering from autism or is diagnosed with autism. So there have to be a diagnosis for anybody to be categorized as autistic. So but yes, that's for that. So we're gonna talk about some characteristics, some things to like tell you if someone is on the spectrum or not. All right. So the most common ones are difficulties with social interactions, repetitive behaviors, restricted interest in certain things. So repetitive behavior will be this individual is wanting to do certain things a certain way. If you try to like change their pattern of doing things, they get really upset. They get really frustrated because that's the only way they've known. So that's what they're gonna keep doing. So if you try to change it, then you're gonna get in trouble with them. All right. So sensory sensitivities, they are sensitive to certain sensory stimulations that like a typical individual wouldn't have a problem with. Say for example, it could be like like a bright light, it could be like a sharp sound, it could be like texture, it could be certain kind of food. So sensory sensitivity is like a big issue with among the autistics. So that you're looking out for too. But yeah, like the list is endless. So I just like the most common ones. So we're just gonna stick with those for right now. You could Google, you could do research, and the symptom by itself is not enough to just call someone autistic. They have to get diagnosed. So diagnosis is like the as the baseline. From there you can take it from there. So but yes, so let's talk about autism in Africa. Yeah, the current situation, in autism, with autism in Africa, and how we can help our loved ones and those that we care for. There's like currently autism is like it's a worldwide phenomenon that's known everywhere, but certain areas, due to education and infrastructural reasons, they are lacking the necessary education to help these individuals. So places like in Africa, we have such a big issue when it comes to awareness issues. So most people, when they hear autism, to them it's like a death sentence. Like, oh, somebody that whoever is on the spectrum is dead already. Like there's no comeback for them. There's no way for them. So but that's not the case. That couldn't be farther from the truth. So autism does not mean that the person is done or they cannot make it in life. It just means they have a different brain. That means their brain is wired differently from typical brain, if there's anything like such. So so autism just means their brain is wired differently from a typical brain. Their brain have like different wiring from a typical brain. All right. They don't think like you. They don't see the world like you. They don't perceive stuff like you. Their sensory pattern is different from yours. So that's what it basically means. So again, lack of awareness, because certain places like in Africa and certain part of Africa, not all part of Africa, there's some part of Africa that are very aware when it comes to autism. But certain parts of Africa, not just Nigeria, like talking about like Eastern Africa, Northern Africa, like a lot of parts of Africa that don't know nothing about autism, or that barely know anything about autism. So with people like you that are creating this awareness, I'm sure we're gonna reach these individuals one at a time. So you guys are doing a great job. Keep doing what you're doing. So yes, lack of awareness. So sometimes we attribute autism in Africa to curse and spiritual affiliation. We affiliate autism to spirituality. Well, that is not True. Autism and spirituality have no correlation. There's nothing linking autism and spirituality together. So if for example, a child is diagnosed with autism, don't go say, oh, their grandmother from the village is the reason why they're autistic. There's no correlation. They've done several studies on these subjects, and there's nothing linking autism and this like spirituality or African spirituality together. So just purge your mind of those things. Just like get those things off your brain right now, off your mind. Just stop linking autism and spirituality, or you have to pray, or because you did not pray well, or because you didn't go to church, that's why your child came out autistic. That's not true. Every autistic person that I've met, I've been in the field on and off about 10 years. Every autistic person that I've met are never the same. They're not the same. So their brains are wired differently. So it just means that God, if you have someone that's autistic right now, it just means, well, if you believe in God, like that means you're just being gifted with a child with a different brain. That's what it means. It's not because you did not pray to God or because you didn't do certain things correctly, at least for right now, that's what we know. There's nothing linking spirituality with autism. So please get rid of those false narratives. Yeah, witchcraft also. There's nothing linking autism with witchcraft. I don't know. I don't believe in witchcraft. I don't know. We can all believe what we want, but there's nothing linking autism with this narratives. So just let go of those narratives, okay? Let's see. Well, lack of resources to help those that are suffering from all that diagnosed with autism or that have neurodevelopmental disorders. Lack of resources, lack of good schools, lack of therapies, lack of professionals, lack of support. Economic support, infrastructural support, all kind of support. We in Africa, especially, most part of Africa, Nigeria to precise, we lack this awareness and we lack resources. It's very unfortunate. So these are some of the setback why we cannot really help people that are suffering from this condition or that are diagnosed with this condition. Again, cultural perception and misconception. So a lot of misconception, like I said, I've addressed some of this already. A lot of misconception about autism in Africa, not just Africa, some other parts of the world too. So a lot of misconception. There's a lot of common myths in African communities about people with autism, and those myths I'll tell you now, based on research, 100% they're false. They're not correct. They're not right. All right, they're not making any sense. So please just get rid of those belief systems and believe that autism means someone has a different brain. Someone sees the world differently from you. Someone is not thinking like you. Someone does not like what you like. That's what autism basically means in the layman terms. All right, it means everybody is different. It means this person is different from you. All right, a father could give birth to 3 children, and you don't expect all 3 children to have the same brain. They're not going to assimilate the same. They're not going to see the world the same. They're not going to be book smart the same. It's just like some people might be visual learners, some might be tactile learners, some might be it just means that they're different, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's totally fine. Just understand these individuals and look for the best way to help them. That's all. That's what you can do. You cannot kill them. If you keep stigmatizing them with all kind of crazy narratives, you're just doing them more harm than good. So let's do better. If you know better, you gotta do better, right? If you know better, do better. Ali. Yes. Yes, even in the Western world, now in America, so now Europe, a lot of people they don't know anything about autism. They're still going around and running with this narrative that, oh, maybe because during pregnancy, whatever, some baba touched their stomach, that's why the child came out autistic. Those are false narratives. So if you're suspecting any signs of autism based on what we've said so far, or based on what you've looked up, that your child is not meeting certain milestones at certain age, say from 1.5 years old, they're not meeting certain milestones, your best bet would be taking them to a professional, taking them to a doctor, to a pediatrician, to have them checked out, to have them looked out. So that's your best bet. So just sitting around and just complaining and praying, I believe in prayers, but you got to do the needful, go to a professional and have those stuff ruled out. Then you can pray all you want. All right. So first of all, do what's needed to be done. Go have a doctor, check them out. Then you can pray. Fast. All right. Oh yeah, let's see. Again, we talked about all of this already. Lack of awareness. These are some of the barriers of why people in Africa don't know much about autism or cannot help those that are autistic. Again, lack of awareness, limited healthcare access, educational issues. people with autism, even in America, they struggle with inclusivity is like a big problem. So if you know better, you do better, right? So if you understand these people, if you know how their brain are wired, if you know that they're wired differently from you, you're gonna want to help them. If you know better, do better, right? Yes. Economic hardship. There's a lot of poor people that cannot afford the treatment and the care of their loved ones who are autistic. So economic hardship, especially in poor countries or developing countries, that's like a problem. One of the problems why we cannot really help those people that need our help. Governmental policies, like in America, there are different states with different policies about inclusivity. I mean, in Nigeria, I'm sure like every state or the government has some certain policies that are not making healthcare accessible to these people. So if those policies can be changed, talk to your local government chairman, talk to your local government, whoever is in charge of your healthcare. They can change certain policies to help these poor families, to help these people that need this this kind of help. So that's gonna go a long way helping them and making them better people. For example, if okay, let me talk about comorbidity. People that are autistic, they just don't have autism. They have other, some might be paralyzed, some might have mental health issues. Autism and mental health are totally different. Mental health is curable, autism is not curable. So autism is not necessarily a disease. It just means your brain is like wired differently. So mental health, on the other hand, is a disease. It can be cured. You can get medication for it and you can be relieved off of it. But autism, you can only manage it. People get, after some time of intervention, people get better and they become more productive, and they can better help themselves because of people like you that have given them information, helped them to become more productive member of society. But autism is not mental health. Yeah, it's kind of intertwined, kind of related, but that's a totally different point of discussion. But yes, let's talk to our local government chairman, talk to whoever you can talk to change setting policies so they can include these guys. When they can go to school and not be judged. They can go to school and not be overstimulated. They can go to public places and not get stereotyped as crazy or slow or whatever it is that you guys call. Just get rid of those stereotypes and name calling. We don't believe in name calling when you're trying to help people. So get rid of name calling. I believe that when you like stereotype setting people, why try to help them at the same time? You've already defeated your purpose of your whatever your intention is already dead on arrival. So you cannot stereotype or label and help at the same time. I just don't believe in it. So just go over there and with the all good intention of helping these people, and that's really all they need from you and I. All right. Again, once you suspect any sign of whatever, they're not meeting certain milestone, first thing, get diagnosis done before you start running all that crazy narratives about, oh, there might be this, or Babalawo must have done this, my mother in the village, my dad, or somebody at the market touched my baby, whatever narrative you got, right? Keep those narratives and take them to a specialist, a doctor, a psychiatrist, pediatrician. Have them checked out. It doesn't matter. Once they are like 1 year old, if you suspect anything, if you see something, say something, right? If you see anything that's not aligning, that's not like really that doesn't go well with you, take them to the doctor and have them checked out. So from 1 year old to about 7, you can still have someone evaluated. So have them evaluated, and then you can rule whatever it is out. It could be autism and other comorbidities. So, but first thing first, have them checked out. Diagnosis. I cannot say that enough. All right. So for right now, that's all I got, and I wish you guys all the best. Thank you for asking for my contribution. I wish I could do more, but I wish I could join you guys as well, live as well. But for right now, I wish you guys all the best. Bye for now. Bye.